Hello you guys, today we are at Magic Kingdom talking about rider switch or rider swap, whichever you want to call it, but everyone is wanting to ride Tron, but sometimes you might be like us and have two little nuggets in the stroller that they're just not tall enough to ride, and you're the only two people, you don't have grandparents with you, and so you want a little assistance and you need some help doing rider swap. So let's step you through that so you can be a rider swap pro and get on Tron and some of the other attractions here that have height requirements that maybe your kids don't meet. Now before we get into all of the Tron and rider swap stuff, I did want to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Ashley, and on this channel I share tips, tricks, and hacks for taking toddlers and little kids to Disney planning tips, travel tips, as well as vlogs from our adventures along the way. So if that is content that you're into, you'll want to click the red subscribe button down below, join the fam, as well as the thumbs up button if you get some useful information out of this video and it helps you be prepared for rider swap here at the park. So let's jump into it.
When you are ready to set up a rider swap for an attraction, the best way is to look for an umbrella with some cast members under it. And usually that is the best way to find them. And they will either help you set up rider swap or will point you in the direction of the cast members that are currently doing that on that particular day.
So you go and you're coming up the ramp. There is where you go to get in line for both the virtual queue and the lightning lane. But you'll come over here to the left as of right now to be able to set up your rider swap. So if you're curious what rides actually offer rider swap, I will have a link to that in the description box below for you to go and check out. Most of them are rides just like Tron with height requirements, but there are a few on there that don't have height requirements that maybe your children just want to miss. So that is an option, but look for them especially at rides with height requirements. So the first situation we're going to walk through is a virtual queue. Now if you have a lightning lane, I'm going to do that in just a minute, but we're starting out with that virtual queue because that's what a lot of people like. We like the free lane. I mean, let's be honest, we like the freebies. So while there is a virtual queue for this attraction, let's talk about that so you're prepared. As you're walking up to the queue, well, you'll usually see over to the left or the right hand side of the attraction a cluster of cast members, probably under an umbrella because it's Florida and it's hot. But all you'll have to do is approach them and let them know, hey, I would like to set up rider swap. And so I'm going to insert some footage here of how that looked for us today when we did that for Tron.
So for the rider switch, because he's going in the first group, he's going to keep his virtual queue. I'm going to take away your virtual queue and then give you the rider switch.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to scan your magic band. Okay. And then one more time. There we go.
Perfect.
All right, so you are all set. So you're going to go through the virtual queue right now, and then whenever you come off and you switch out, you're going to be going through the lightning.
Okay, so in that scenario, we didn't have someone that was with us tall enough to ride. So say my toddler Lucy was tall enough for the Tron attraction, then all we would have had to do is scan her magic band as well, and she would have got to not only go through the regular queue with my husband, but then she would have got to come back through the line with myself. So she would have gotten to ride it twice. But it doesn't just work for kids, it can work for adults too. So say you're here on a big family vacation, you've got grandparents that you can leave the kids with. So say mom wants to hang out with the kids while dad and the family go through the traditional standby queue. All you would need to do is when mom goes back through, then say dad could ride again and go with her. So she wouldn't have to ride by herself. So that is just an option. Your second rider does not have to be just a child. It's not limited to just children. You can go through and do that as an adult. So if you have extra hands that you're traveling with that can watch your kiddos, then that is a nice perk of that. And you both can ride together and have some couple time. All right, now there is one issue that you're probably going to have to deal with rider switch. So say you're a family of 5, you have one child that is not tall enough, but 2 children that are. So say the older 2 children go through with dad in the traditional virtual queue, and then another one wants to ride again with mom when she goes. You're gonna have to pick because you cannot have 2 second riders. So unfortunately in this case, you're gonna have to pick a favorite kid or play rock, paper, scissors or something to figure out that second rider and who's winning. With the virtual queue, the first group will have to go through the standard line, which for us today, which was opening day, it ended up being 40 minutes in the standard virtual queue line. It could be anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour. It could be less, it could be more, just depending on the wait time and the amount of people they're allowing through at the time. But that's tending to be what we're seeing in the last few days, that previews and everything that have been going on. It's been between that 40 to 1 hour mark. So be prepared for the other party that is waiting for the family to go through the standby portion of the ride. You'll need to probably think of something else you can do. If you have your toddlers with you, you might go over and do the Dumbo play area. Something simple, there's ice cream nearby, lots of different little shops that you can peruse through, ride the people mover. So different things that you can do to kill time with your kids while you're waiting on your family in the standby line. But the nice part of using rider switch is when it's that second group's time, they will actually get to go through the lightning lane for free, don't have to pay for it, does not cost to use that when you're utilizing the rider switch program here at Disney World. So that is really, really nice, and it'll help you move along to the other attraction. Today, my husband waited 40 minutes in the standby, and then when it was my turn, I waited 20 minutes in that line. So not too shabby to cut that in half instead of having to wait another full 40 minutes. So it's definitely worth stopping to set that up if you are using the virtual queue at any of the attractions here at Disney World. Now when it comes to using rider swap with those paid lightning lanes, I wouldn't necessarily worry about stopping to scan in and set up the rider swap portion unless you have a child that is tall enough, or another person that is tall enough to ride as your second rider. Now the caveat to that is where if you are coming, you have a window. So our window was from 9:20 p.m. to 10:20 p.m. So if we were gonna get here closer to that, maybe 10:10, 10:05, anything closer to kind of the end of your window, then I would definitely stop and set up rider swap. Even though you don't have a second rider, it does kind of restart your clock as far as setting up a rider swap lightning lane that will appear in your My Disney Experience account. And that way you're not having to rush and then potentially your second rider not making it through within the time frame, because they are being extremely strict, specifically here at Tron, on your lightning lanes and virtual queues and your time windows of when you need to be here. So just to be on the safe side, so there's no problems and no issues ruining your fun at Magic Kingdom or anywhere else here at the Disney parks, I would definitely factor that into stopping and doing that if you're running close to that end of your lightning lane window. So just wanted to share that, but the process is exactly the same. You will approach the cast members. For us, it was at the very top right before you got into your line, but anywhere you'll just approach the cast members, tell them, hey, I would like to set up rider swap. They will walk you through the entire process, just like I just showed with the virtual queue process, and it's very, very simple. It doesn't require anything, and again, it doesn't cost you anything. So this is a very nice perk that Disney has for families that just, there's two of you can't take your younger kids on, your kid doesn't want to ride. I saw some kids just come off of this and they were just bawling, crying, and they were tall enough. So now the only difference between when using a lightning lane for an attraction when using rider swap alongside your lightning lane is that you will only have to go through the lightning lane. So the first group will go through the lightning lane, and so will the second group. Unlike with the virtual queue, that first group does have to go through the standby line, the second group will go through the lightning lane. So just wanted to make sure that is super clear so you guys don't have any confusion. So now that you are a pro at rider swap, you may want to become a pro at Genie Plus too. So I will link my video right over here so you can go see my step-by-step tutorial on how to use Genie Plus, screen records and all. So you can head on over, check out that video, and I'll see you there. Bye!